Greetings. You're listening to the Living Your Best Life in Africa podcast, and this is episode 108. Greetings, everyone. I hope you are continuing to keep your spirits up as we are shoved towards the new normal that is being defined for us rather than with us. And with this in mind, it's now really important that we look at as many ways as possible to retain some control over our lives. Now, you know me. And not a week goes by that I am not looking at what we can be doing to decrease our dependency on the job and to improve the amount of money that we have left at the end of the month. And for these two things to happen, well, you know what I'm going to say. We need to increase the number of income streams that we have. And so in the spirit of helping you to do this, I'm going to start you thinking about where you can make your start by focusing on the basics. And the basics are focusing on the 6 things you can sell to make extra money. So in case you didn't know, there are only 6 things that you can sell to make that extra money. And these are your own physical products, your own digital products or programs, your own services, someone else's physical products, someone else's digital products or programs, and finally, someone else's services. So let's look at each of these 6 products in more detail. So the first is your own physical product. Now, out of all the podcast episodes I've ever put out, I've probably spent the most time on this area because African descent communities, black communities, are one of the most versatile communities in the world. Whenever people think they have us cornered, up we rise again with a new way to do something. But the problem is that whilst we provide so many different ideas for other people, we only invest a fraction of that creativity and belief in ourselves and getting our thing out there, making money for us. And as a result of this, more people than ever outside of the black community are making money off black culture than ever before. So if others are making money selling our things back to us, then why not you? The kinds of physical products you are likely to be making are things like soaps, candles, artisan products, which for example might be things like stationery and greetings cards, or handbags, wallets, socks, trainers, shoes, artwork, all of which are likely to have maybe an African slant to them. Maybe fabric is in there as well. You might make clothes or African influenced jewellery or crystals or home furnishings or toys or books or specialist products created for children or elders. If you're someone who can create any of these products or products that I've probably not even mentioned, these products may look beautiful on the back of the shelf at home, but unless you can pluck up the inquisitiveness in yourself to see what might happen if you put yourself and your products out there, and unless you can pluck up the courage to give it a go, then we will never have the benefit of being able to buy from you and to demonstrate to you just how much your product solves a problem that your waiting customers need solving. The second thing that you can sell is your own digital product or program. So what's a digital product or program? Well, if you have a skill that you can teach people either through a live training program or an online course or something like a podcast or a YouTube channel or the creation of a phone app, this is what is meant by a digital product or program. We are at a point in time when more people are learning new skills online to put those new skills towards earning extra money. So what kinds of skills are popular? Well, skills that teach people how to create products of their own are really popular. And also skills that teach people how to solve problems of their own. Those kinds of programs are also really popular. If you can teach people how to make things like candles or soaps or to bake, consider whether you could create a slide-based course or a video-based course that could teach people to create products for their own use or to sell as gifts or just to sell to the general public. Because if you can do this, then there are people waiting to buy your course or your program. And if you can create these products in a step-by-step approach and teach people also how to Africanize the products they're making, sort of like how to get African type scents into soaps or candles, or things like covering stationery with African prints, or teaching people to make the foods or the cakes that remind us of the Caribbean or an African country. It's these types of additional skills which, when added to an ordinary program, will make people jump at the opportunity to buy your digital product or program. And they'll even make people watch your digital channel so that advertisers will come calling once you start growing your online audience. If this is you and you have an idea for a digital product, which means something people can consume online, if you have an idea for that digital product, like an app or a course or an online program that helps people to pick up knowledge or skills, and you have it in your mind that you would like to bring your digital product or program to market, then you should seriously consider this. And if you want to move on this, then make contact with me at Living Your Best Life in Africa, and we can help you move things to the next level. And the third thing you can sell is your own service. The service industry is one of the lockdown growth areas of the last 12 to 13 months, with online administrative services like virtual assistants being one of the biggest growth areas within the black business sector. Since the working from home revolution brought about by COVID, since that took place, more people have been looking for services to help them manage the impact of being confined to working at home, and also to help them adjust to what is likely to be a mixed economy of working in the office and working from home combined. And people need help with that. And that has also brought about a rise in people looking at home office services to help them to make these adjustments. And now more people are looking for bespoke services than ever before. So what kind of services are people looking for? Well, as I said, people are looking for help with digital administration. So things like managing their emails or managing their social media pages or social media marketing of their products or programs. Help with managing their everyday business accounts, managing their appointments, specialist report writing for some professions, or increases in requests for home modifications to create home-based offices. And all these services are growing in addition to a boom in people booking standard traditional services using online booking systems. So things like booking pest control or plumbing services, electrical or building services, gardeners or removal and delivery services. And I guess why I'm mentioning these types of services is that if this is you and you are either able to provide virtual assistance to people or your service is already established and you're waiting for people to know that you are there, then you really need to create and develop your online presence. People need to know that you are there, and that has to be driven by you. And in the 21st century, that happens just as much online as it does face to face. And since COVID, the shift is now for that happening more online. So unless you've got advertisement money to push your product on TV or radio, then social media advertising and email advertising should be a key part of your plan to get yourself out there and to get your service noticed by people who are looking for what you offer. And they're looking for you to tell them how they can hire you. So these are the 3 kinds of things that you can sell. If you can see yourself in any of these descriptions, I'm hoping this piques your interest enough for you to have faith in your thing and faith in your ability to bring your thing to market. Now, moving on to how you can sell other people's products, programs, or services, you already have an idea of what those products, programs, or services are because, well, it's simple. Instead of these items being your personal creations, they're the creations of someone else, and you would be selling these items on behalf of the owners of these products, programs, or services. Now, that can either happen via a private arrangement between you and the owner, or you can go through specialist sites that are set up for you to sell other people's products, programs, or services. And you can even make your own arrangements and sell other people's stuff yourself. So let's have a look at each of these in turn. So the first way you can sell other people's products, programs, or services is by you making a private arrangement with the owners of these physical or digital products to allow you to sell them on behalf of their owners. Now, there's nothing unusual about this. People have been selling other people's products since the beginning of time. You know the drill. Someone gives you their stuff in a bag and you agree to sell it on their behalf for a cut of the proceeds. In my younger days, this was just called hustling. Today, we call it side hustling. But what's changed is that this practice of selling other people's stuff has also moved online, and this is done via a process of selling other people's stuff on sites like Etsy and eBay and Amazon, and there are loads more, but these are the biggest 3. And so what you have are people who will advertise other people's products on these sites and then use social media advertising and other forms of advertising to drive traffic meaning the eyes of people, to the sales pages where they can find these items listed so that people will be encouraged to buy. But like everything, even this type of selling has diversified in the online market. And what you now have is a combination of people actually having other people's physical products to sell and selling them online. But also, people are now going directly to the manufacturers of products in countries like China and India and are purchasing huge quantities of desirable products at cheaper prices, cutting out the middleman, and then taking those products to their home countries and selling the products themselves for much more of a cut of the profits. Huge amounts of money are being made on this type of side hustle, and there are women in Central and West Africa in particular who are making fantastic livings, better than the living you're making here in a so-called first world country. And they're making it doing this kind of side hustling. And it works. And it's this kind of activity that is becoming easier with sites like Alibaba, which is one of the largest trading eBay type sites in the world. now being open to you being able to purchase products that cost as little as $1, and then being able to ship those products to you because you're buying in bulk to anywhere in the world, as long as you are happy to pay the postage. Now, if you think about African women in some of the West African countries, when you factor in the cost of their airfares and expenses that they incur to travel to purchase products, you can see why, if you are selling a staple set of products and doing well, using the internet to help you sell, then you can see why you're in a position to just reorder your products without having to leave your armchair, cutting down your travel trips from maybe 6 per year to 2 or 3 per year. And the money that you save will still cover your postage, and you will still save money doing it that way. So what's not to love? And what we have here are women in African countries who are taking side hustling by the horns and absolutely crushing their sales. And this type of selling of other people's products has also spawned the second type of selling of other people's physical products, which has become known as drop shipping. And if you're a regular listener to this podcast, you've heard me mention drop shipping before. But what's different about drop shipping is that you don't actually own any of the products that you're selling, which is different to the first way of selling that I've just spoken about. And even more interesting is that in some cases, you've never actually seen the products in the flesh that you're selling. Instead, you may have seen pictures or had conversations with the manufacturers or the owners of the products. But with drop shipping, your potential customers don't need to know this. All your customers have to know is that you know the ins and outs of the product that you're selling. And so what you would do, once you've selected the products that you want to front, you would then set up a web page or a site selling the products as if the products are yours. And then the customers think they're buying from you with your reputation, but you are only the lead for the sale. Once you've completed the sale, everything to do with post-selling is then managed by the owner or the manufacturer of the products. And that can include shipping, returns, and customer complaints. And again, what's not to love here? There are people all over the world making a nice living from this type of side hustle. And more than likely, if you've bought something online in the last 12 months, you may well have bought it from a drop shipper. And the drop shipping method has given rise to the third form of selling, which has arisen around the selling of people's digital products and services. You now have specialist websites that are set up to help you sell other people's programs and services. Remember, programs are things like online courses and step-by-step programs. And sites like ClickBank, JVZoo, Share a Sale, and CJ Affiliate are all sites that specialize in what's called affiliate marketing. Now, affiliate marketing is a sales and marketing system where you earn money for directing people, or what we call leads, towards a particular digital online program or service. And you also can earn money when you sell a program on behalf of its owner. And in return for that sale, you'll earn a percentage commission on the full price of the program. Now, this is an area that was massive before lockdown, but since lockdown, it has grown significantly to meet the demand for people who are looking for additional income streams. This is an area that I am going to come back to and look at in more detail in a future episode. But for now, You just need to know that it is possible for you to sell other people's online programs and services through dedicated websites that do all the work for you in terms of hosting the programs. And all you need to do is to establish a purchasing relationship with a potential buyer and to then steer them to your own sales page or to the owner's website to complete the purchase, after which you get your commission. Now, that right there, if you're in retail and you already know how to use persuasion techniques to encourage people to part with their money to buy themselves out of the pain that they're in, then affiliate selling is one of the most progressive income streams that you could harness to make money, because you would be doing something that should not be too difficult for you to do, because you're already in retail and you know how to sell like the back of your hand. And that's me done here. I really want this episode to inspire you to think about which one of the 6 different things you could sell as a way to begin your journey into side hustling. Remember, the 6 different areas are: number 1, selling your own physical products; number 2, selling your own digital products or programs; number 3, selling your own services; number 4, selling someone else's physical products; number 5, selling someone else's digital programs; and finally, number 6, selling someone else's services. Those are the 6 things you should think about, and pick the one which is strongest for you. If something here has pricked your interest, the next step would be to do more digging around whichever of these niches has sparked your interest, and that should give you an idea about how you can develop your particular side hustle interest, and then you're on your way. But if you want some hand-holding, then you can apply for the waiting list for the next cohort of the Start Your Business coaching program. And that program will begin in September. But as I've said, I have a waiting list, and you can use the links at the bottom of the show notes where you're listening to this podcast to register a place on the wait list. Once I've got you there, I will then be able to let you know when the class goes live. For you to make those changes, you have to be brave enough to step out, in fear if necessary, but step out you must. You have to do that self-review to see where in those 6 different examples your strength lies, so that you can make that start. Because at the very least, you have to dream big. But after dreaming big, you have to start small. But most of all, you have to make that start. You've been listening to the Living Your Best Life in Africa podcast. My name is Dr. Asha, and until next week, I'm